morning, everybody. This is Pastor Bonnie, and I have been so anxious to do this painting. It's been running around in my head for a week, so I'm going to take you on a journey with me. We're going to be painting some white birches against a really colorful background. So, to be honest, I don't really know myself what this is going to look like, but we're just going to get started. So, I have all of these really pretty colors of paint, and I have just every color in the rainbow. So what's in my mind is just to do some really pretty colors in the background. So what I'm going to do before we get started, I'm going to put dots of paint all over the canvas. And what I'm going to do with this video, so it won't be so long, I'll stop it, I'll do it, stop it, let you see it, explain it, and then move on to the next step. And then that way, because if I just let you watch me paint, the video will take an hour. So I'm going to let you watch me paint in small segments, and let's see if that makes it better. And we just celebrated Mother's Day. I hope you guys had a great time with your families, and I know that holidays can be hard too for some people. So for those of you who had a tough day, maybe this will be something relaxing to do. So you can see I've got all kinds of different colors of paint. I'm going to put it up so you can see. It's all random. These are, and you can choose whatever colors you want. You might like reds and oranges and greens. Those are actually, I didn't put red and orange in here, but I tend to go with pinks, blues, and purples. Those are my favorites, but you can choose whatever colors you want. I'm going to be using just a plastic palette knife, and I actually there's a set of these that we're going to be using. I got these I think I probably got these at Walmart for like $5 or Hobby Lobby. So all we're going to do is just in random, it's totally random. I don't have any rhyme or reason to how it's going to look. I will tell you, you have to be careful when you do different colors like this. You want to make sure that you don't put them on too thick, and the reason why, if you do that, then the colors will blend together and they'll be muddy, and you'll end up with a brown mess, because when you mix all kinds of colors together, that's what color you end up with. But you can see I like it. This is what I wanted, just really pretty. It's going to be muted in the background. That's what I wanted. So we're really enjoying this. So let me finish this, and then we'll come back and work on the next part. Now what I'm doing, you guys, because this has a lot more green than I wanted, I'm actually putting the color right on the knife, and then I'm just going to put like really pretty globs where I want them. And it'll be like a layered effect. But I love to work on trees. That's one of my all-time favorite things to do. So, and I love white birches. I grew up in the Northeast, or New England, and also the other thing is I have a sponge that's wet. Sorry, let me get this here. And you have to wipe it off in between applications. Sorry for my arm getting in the way. Purple's my favorite color, purple and green. There, that's what I wanted. So I have a website called Dragonfly Corners, and in the website I do pottery and paintings and soap and all kinds of stuff. But the most that I sell of is the purple and green, so I think that must be everybody else's favorite colors too. This is so much fun. It's almost like finger painting. And there's, like I said, the patterns are random. I think I might even teach this one for a class, because I think people would really enjoy it. So I like this. Now I kind of want to go back and just add some little other colors to kind of offset it. So like and this paint I'm using, this is really thick. It's Master's Touch, and I got this at Hobby Lobby. It's a little bit expensive. These are like $10 a tube, but you don't need to use very much of it. And I think we're gonna put just a little more. So it's been just a really fun week. I absolutely love spending this time with you guys. I've been trying to do these once a week, and I always love to share uplifting stories with you. And I actually have a really cool story. When we start working on the trees, I'm gonna share it with you guys. So just a little heads up. But that is just exactly what I wanted. So let me clean this off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it up so you can see it. So see, it's just random colors, and I think I want it this direction. This is what I want. And then what we're going to do, I want to see if this works. I'm not positive, you guys, that this is going to work, but since it's still wet, I'm going to see if I can draw the trees in, actually, with this pointed one. So let's see if this will work. Yep, it is. Trees are fun to do. So anyways, I'll tell you guys a story while I'm working on this. So I told you I have this little shop called Dragonfly Corners, and one of the things I do is I have a little business card in that I put in with the pieces. And originally I used to inscribe Jeremiah 29:11 on the bottom of the card, on the bottom of the pieces, but there are people who don't like that and they got offended by it. So I really prayed and I asked the Lord, and I said, Lord, what can I do? Because my life is to bring glory to the Lord. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm an ordained minister, and Jesus is very real in my life, and I love to share him with people because he loves you and he wants to be real in your life. So see, I'm just scratching in the trees so I can see where they're going to be. And these are totally random. You can put yours wherever you want to. But anyway, back to the story. So I got this message from one of my customers. Her sister-in-law had sent her one of the mugs as a Mother's Day gift. And she said when she opened it, the business card flew out. And she said that she literally went in the closet and ugly cried because it meant so much to her, and it was just what she needed. And the verse is Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for good and not for evil, plans to give you a future and a hope. Isn't that just the coolest verse? But that was the verse, and it just was so cool because I didn't know that that was going to happen, but God knew she needed it, so he made sure she got to see it. So that's my special story. I just want to encourage you, if the Lord speaks to your heart to do something, just do it. You never know how it's going to touch a life. So see, look, we have our trees. And then now what I'm going to do, which is the hardest part, is I'm going to put it aside and let it dry, because we're going to be working with the trees, and we're going to put, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to paint white over it first or start with the black. So I'm going to come back, but if I try to put any colors on this now, it's going to be all muddied. And instead of having the white trees, they're going to be pink and purple and green because the paint will mix together. So I'm going to put this outside and let it dry. You can also use a hair dryer, which actually I probably will do that. I'm going to use a hair dryer and get it nice and dry, and then we'll come back and work on it some more. Painting is nice and dry. I'll hold it up so you can see it. And now we're going to work on the tree trunks. And so this is, we're only going to use, 3 colors. I'm going to use black, and we're going to use our white. The white, which is titanium white. And then I want to say this, you guys, because this has so many colors in it, you could, if you wanted to do the leaves a different color, you could do blue leaves, pink leaves, green. I'm going to do 2 shades of green. And so what I want to do is we're going to start with the dark leaves first, and then we're going to put the light leaves on top of them. So the first part we're going to do now is the white on the trunks. So let me just get this paint ready, and I'll show you how we're going to do it. This paint is really thick. Now, if you don't happen to have this thick white paint, you can get this stuff which is called it's a gel medium. And you can mix this with your regular paints, and you can get these acrylic paints at Walmart for $1, so you don't have to buy the really expensive ones. If you use this gloss gel medium, you can mix it and it will make them nice and thick. So that's a pro tip for you, and that's actually what I did with this black. It was an old container of black that was really watery. So I'm going to get just a little bit on the palette knife, and we're just going to go from the top down. And I purposely want there to be texture in this. That's why I love this technique, because when it dries, it's going to have a bumps and ridges in it. And you don't have to follow exactly in the lines. Those are just a guide. Actually, let me try. Let's see if this one works a little better. This one's a little bigger. Much better. So it's kind of trial and error. You'll find what you like and what works for you. I did take this outside and let it dry, and we have just a windy, sunny day today. I'm going to use the little one for the branches. So it didn't take very long, and it gave me a chance to walk around the block. That's one of my favorite things to do. I love to go for walks. Me and my husband have done that for years. We've been married almost 43 years this year, and that is still our favorite thing to do. I like to walk and pray and talk to the Lord, tell him everything that's going on. You know, you can actually have a personal relationship with Jesus and talk to him, and he'll talk to you. And that's what I like to do. So I pray about anything and everything. I'm going to kind of smooth this out just a little. I don't quite like these lines in it. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see. I'm a lefty, so sometimes my hand will drag in the paint. That's a lot better. So we're just going to go back. So what I'll do is I'll stop it. I'll go ahead and put the other ones in so you can see what they look like. That way the video won't be so long like I was talking about. I'll be back in a few minutes. We're just adding a few more trees. This is actually kind of like working with cake frosting. That's what it feels like. And you just kind of spread it on. I do paintings with angels in them, and I love to put these for the wings. I just love it. I love it because these look like they're three-dimensional. And you can see the trees aren't perfectly straight because they're not meant to be. In nature, they wouldn't be. So these are not going to be perfectly straight either. And I'm just using the lines as a guide for these. We're going to go back, and the fun part about acrylics is the more details you add, it adds another layer and another layer of interesting things to look at. So you can't make any mistakes with it, and trees are very forgiving. That's why I love them. And to be honest, I'm not the greatest artist in the world. I did take 4 years of art all during high school, and I did learn some techniques, but I'm not by any means, you know, as good as some of the other people. I just have fun with it. So I'm going to take a paintbrush so we can make these not quite so fat, these limbs up here. Just kind of spread them out a little bit. The paintbrush kind of fills it in a little bit easier. So I still don't quite want those lines in it. We're going to go back with some black paint too, but this will kind of get the branches started. So relaxing, you guys. I encourage you to give it a try. And like I said, it's really, this is such a fun, easy technique. You don't have to have really big art skills. If you can draw a straight line, then you're good. And I'm just dragging the paint from the top to the bottom. And then I'm just using the paintbrush and going back and kind of kind of getting rid of some of the lines in it. I will tell you, if you get the acrylic paint on your clothes and it dries, you won't be able to get it off. So you do want to wear stuff that you don't care about, because it is messy. And I've already got some pink on my dress, and thankfully it's a work dress that I don't care about. Let me move this over so you can see what I'm doing. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fun day. I hope that these videos give you something relaxing to do. You know, I think it's been a really tough year for everybody, hasn't it? With COVID, and we've all lost people. We lost our brother-in-law to COVID, Jeff's brother. Just, you know, we all know somebody that's been touched by it. So sometimes just doing something like this is relaxing, and it kind of takes your mind off the things that are going on in the world. So it's a joyful thing to do. And I always tell you guys, if you have any prayer requests, please don't hesitate to reach out. You don't have to say what they are, but you can just put them in the, you know, in the little, there's like a box you can put comments and stuff. And I will tell you, I do, if people put mean, hateful comments, I do delete those, because I want this to be a place of life for people. So I don't keep any nasty, hateful stuff. What I'm going to do now, this is a really fine, little tiny thin brush. So I just kind of want to bring bring little branches in. And we're going to actually do the same thing with the black paint too, but we want to have a little bit of the, so see some of these that are kind of fat, and I'm going to fill these in anyway with leaves, but I want the branches to show through the leaves. So you can see we did a little bit of everything. We used a palette knife, and we used the little tiny paintbrush, and we talk and share while we do it. I might have to wait for this to dry, but I'm gonna try the black and let's see what it looks like. Okay, like I told you, I've already dragged my hands in it. So I'm gonna take this fat one, and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm just gonna tap it so that I get it on the edge, so you can see that. And then what we do is we take the edge and you just kind of drag it over. It makes the prettiest design on here. I was telling you guys, I grew up in New England, and there's white birches everywhere. They're actually my husband's very favorite tree. And the Indians actually used to use them to write on, because the bark peels and it really does look like paper. But isn't that pretty cool? Just easy technique. And then I'll be back. This actually is working with the wet paint, so we're just gonna let you watch me do it. So you notice I've got the white on this side, on the left side, because you always want to make the light go in the same direction. So that's why I'm doing the dark on the right side, my right side, and then letting it be light on the other side. And it makes it look more realistic. That's how it is in nature too. Isn't that cool looking, you guys? Just love it. And this hasn't taken very long at all. Not at all. They're really quick. This one's actually an 8x10. I do list these on Dragonfly Corners at Etsy.com if you want to buy them. I also will make a journal cover with it, and then I sell the journals on there. You can find my books on Amazon. My name is Bonnie McPhail. Type it in and you'll see all the books. So I have books about my angelic encounters, and coloring books, and journals. I'm really passionate about the journals, and I've journaled ever since my husband and I got married. And the reason why I love it so much is because God will give me insight and I don't even realize it. I'll write stuff down and go back and read it, and I'll go, wow, the Lord was really talking in that situation, and I had no clue. And that's how he does. It's fun to go back. I write every day. I actually have a journal on my computer, and I journal every single day. And I drive my family nuts because I take pictures at every family event, and they go in my journal. That's what I tell them. You know, it's so that I can remember, and it's so joyful. Once a year I'll go back and read what I wrote. Just love it. I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see. Isn't that cool looking? And you can see, because I'm a lefty, it's all over my arm. Always a mess. When I was a little girl, I used to love to play in the mud. You know, when you're a child, you actually do the things that you're created to do. Did you know that every person is created with their own unique purpose? And a lot of times when you go back and think about what you did as a child that you loved, that's actually your purpose. So for me, I used to love to make mud pies, and now I have a pottery business. I used to teach my siblings. I'd line them all up in cardboard boxes and pretend I was the teacher. And I love to teach. So it's just kind of cool. So go back and think about, what did you do when you were a child? And the cool part is each one of us has our own special assignment, and your assignment belongs to you. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody else, and that is so joyful. Okay, now I'm gonna take my actually, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to get some water. You're gonna hear me get the paint off of it. The other thing that's important too with acrylic paint, you want to put your brushes in the water when you're not using them, because it'll harden really fast, and then your brushes will be ruined. So now this part, these kind of trees have like these like bumps and ridges, and these kind of, I don't know, they kind of look like a wrinkled old fingerprint, sort of. See how cool it is, you guys? Every little bit that you add just adds more to it. And they're kind of old looking. And you can put some kind of lines in it. It's just fun talking to you guys, and I really appreciate getting to spend the time with you. It's always so joyful. Joyful for me too. You just put these, they're random. And then now I'm gonna do this part. I'm using the little thin brush, but I want just some branches. Now I start from the bottom, and you have to drag it, and then it'll make a point when you start from the bottom. See? It'll make a thin point, and that's what I want. And these, sometimes they have branches that hang down. And these are going to be covered up with leaves anyway, you guys, like I said. But I want to add some while, before I start putting the leaves on them. Okay, so now let me hold this up and you can take a look at it. See what I was talking about the light on the left-hand side and it's darker on the other side. Now we're gonna do the fun part, is we're gonna do the leaves. So I'm gonna stop it for a minute, get all this paint off my hands and off my clothes, and then we'll come back and do the last part. We're gonna start with the dark paint first. And I went ahead, even though this paint's really thick, this is the thick body Master's Touch paint, I did go ahead and mix it with some gloss gel medium, and you can see what it looks like. Just kind of thickens it up a little bit. And then what we do is you start with just a little bit on the spatula. I like to use the back of it on the palette knife, and then you just squish on the leaves. And this is actually really relaxing, and this color isn't very pretty. I always start with the dark colors first, and then we go to the lighter colors. So this color, like I said, is not my favorite color, but it's perfect for what I want. And you just put the leaves randomly all over the canvas. So I'm going to do that and I'll be back. It takes a lot of patience because you just have to randomly put them on here. Now the trees also, I like to put little tiny daubs like the leaves are falling, and I might even add some purple. We'll see here in a minute what this looks like. And then I'm just going to show you what it looks like when you add the other leaves. See? And you can put them right over the top of the other ones, because they're all going to blend together. You just keep adding the leaves until you get it looking the way you want it to. And what I'm going to do, because these are still really dark colors, I'm going to add some yellow, and I'll show you what that looks like in a few minutes. But so just make some little droplets, or little tiny baby leaves, I should say. Don't you love the background now, you guys? I think it came out so pretty with all those colors in the background. It's beautiful. I did this one time with reds and greens and oranges. Oh boy, was it beautiful. This one's actually the first time I've done it with these colors. And then I'll just show you. I'm going to bring it up so you can see. Remember, you guys, I told you I don't even know myself what this is going to look like, and that's half the fun. So you can see, you would not think you could put purple and blue, but you can, and they're going to look really neat. So I am going to put some of the blue . I like it. I think it's beautiful. And that's the fun part. Like I said, your leaves will look different. You're going to choose different colors than I am. I don't want a lot of them, but just a little smidge. And then the yellow, I'm actually going to mix with this, put a little bit of this in with it. Just to give a little, sort of like a spring green color. That's what I'm looking for, and that's just what I wanted. See what I mean, you guys? It's so pretty. Every little bit that you add. A lot of times I even pray and ask God to give me ideas, and he does. And I tell people he talks to me, but I don't hear voices. I hear like this whisper on the inside, and he wants to do that to everybody. He's always at work in your lives, working things out when you don't realize it, and he'll give you whispers on the inside too. So I've got some purple, and I'm going to mix just a little tiny bit of the blue with it, so the purple's a little bit darker. And then I'm just going to put I don't want to put a lot, but I am going to put a few of the purple in the blue. And like I said, you can't make any mistakes. If you don't like the way a leaf looks, you can just put another color over it. Isn't that pretty, you guys? Like I told you, I'm not the best painter in the world, but I sure have fun. I hope you do too. So now I want some more of the green. And I just keep putting on layer upon layer of the leaves till I get it the way I want it. And some of them overlap each other, but you can see how the branches kind of, just like when you're taking a walk in the woods, the branches kind of show through the leaves. That's what we wanted. And you just put them wherever you think they look pretty. And you can turn it as you work. And like I said, I'm left-handed. And I love being left-handed, but the problem is I drag my hand across any paper that I'm working on. And then I'll just bring it up so you can look at it. So you can see we have it almost done. I signed my name on the bottom. And then now, this is one of my favorite parts. We're gonna water down some white paint, and then I'm gonna make some spatters on it. And I really love to do that. It kind of ties it all in. So you can see, and you wanna get a really thick brush. And then all I'm gonna do is flick it. I just love that. And that's it. And we are done for today. This has been a quick, easy, fun one. Let me just show it to you. I'll bring it up here where you can see it. Isn't that pretty, you guys? I just love it. Sometimes I've even gone back, if you want to, you can flick the blue and the green and those colors, but I just want to do the white for this one. I'll photograph it and put it on the website. But I have enjoyed working with you so much today. And as always, thank you for spending this time with me. It's such an honor to do this for you. And God bless you, and may you have a great day.